Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to another Jum'ah Mubarakah episode where I'll talk about different stories, anything that's related to Islam, hadiths, verses, anything in between that we can learn from. In today's episode, I want to touch up on a very inspiring story that a lot of people can benefit from, inshallah, and especially those who have hard times with their families, family members, friends, etc. And hopefully this will give them peace of mind and have them be on a better place of thoughts. And today's story is going to be about the Prophet Ibrahim and his father, a test of faith to Ibrahim alayhi salam. In a quick story, summarize the story. Imagine a young man standing amidst a city filled with towering idols. A city is full of idols, right? Watching his own people, his own family bow down before these lifeless stones. So this young man was Ibrahim alayhi salam, a man blessed with wisdom and insight far beyond his years. Subhanallah. But his heart was heavy, for among those who worshipped these false gods, and amongst those was his father, Azar, a man who his father not only believed in these idols, these false gods, he also craved them with his own hands. So his father was craving those stones in a particular shape as false gods, and he used to worship them. So he was worshiping things that he created with his own hands. And you can only imagine what Ibrahim alayhi salam was seeing and how was he feeling about this. From a young age, Ibrahim had always questions. He had that question like, what's going on? What's this about? Why do people bow to statues that neither hear nor speak? Why do they fear gods that cannot protect themselves? So these thoughts burned within him, right? And when the truth was revealed to him by Allah, he knew he could no longer stay silent. When you start knowing the truth, you have to convey to others about that truth. SubhanAllah, this is what Sayyidina Ibrahim wanted to do or have done. So one evening, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam approached his father in a room that's flickering lights with the oil lamps across the room, a room filled with cravings. His father is tired from a long day of sculpting, looked up as his son spoke with sincerity and love. So Sayyidina Ibrahim came in, seeing his father doing all these cravings into these sculptor stones and wooden sculptures. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, after seeing his father, he said, "Oh my father." His voice filled with both compassion and urgency. "Why do you worship that which cannot see, nor hear, nor bring you any benefits? Why do you bow down to something that cannot even move?" So Sayyidina Ibrahim is questioning him as to why you're doing such a thing that you yourself can see that it cannot talk to you back, it cannot protect itself back, it cannot move, it cannot benefit you whatsoever, right? So Azar frowned, and then he set down his tools and said, "These are the gods of our forefathers, Ibrahim. They have guided us for generation. Who are you to question them?" So he was basically blindly following what his forefathers were following. So Sayyidina Ibrahim took a deep breath and said, "Oh my father, knowledge has come to me that has not come to you. Follow me and I will guide you to the straight path." His words were careful, gentle, and respect. He didn't come to his father in a bad way or in a bad manner to tell him about what he has received from Allah, saying that do not worship shaitan, for he has always been a deceiver. I fear that if you continue down this path, a great punishment may befall on you. May befall you. So he went to talk to his father to warn him and tell him what he has received from Allah. But his father's reaction was different. So Azar's face darkened. He stood up. His hands clenched. Do you reject my gods, Ibrahim? His voice was filled with anger. If you do not stop this, I will stone you to death. Leave me and do not return. So imagine somebody, especially your father, you come and tell your father about something. As for Sayyidina Ibrahim, he wanted to convey what he has been given by Allah to guide him to the right path, and his father did not accept, right? He was so angry. The difference between when Ibrahim came to his father, he spoke to him with a gentle way, a respectful way, right? Vice versa with his father, he was so angry. He was filled with anger, right? So the silence filled the entire room they were in. It was so quiet, it was so silent after that. And Ibrahim, alayhi salam, looked up at his father, the man who had raised him, cared for him, taught him how to walk, but now the same father is turning him away. He's rejecting him. He's rejecting his own son. So with a heavy heart, Ibrahim lowered his gaze, saying, "Peace be upon you, my father." He said, "Surely I will ask my Lord to forgive you. Indeed, He is most merciful to me. But I will leave you, and I will leave these idols. I will call upon my Lord alone, and I know that He will never abandon me." SubhanAllah. Just put yourself in that scenario. How heartbreaking that is, for Sayyidina Ibrahim. And with that, Ibrahim turned away and walked, leaving behind his home, his family, and everything he had ever known over there. But he did not leave in despair. He left with the most important thing to him and to humankind. He left with his faith, for he who know that Allah had chosen him for something greater. SubhanAllah, it's a beautiful story that I like to emphasize on. So the lesson of this, the moral story of this, is not just about rejection of a father, right? It is about standing firm in your belief. Even when the world turns against you, Ibrahim alayhi salam teaches us that guidance is a gift. SubhanAllah. And though we may call others to the truth, not everyone will accept. But no matter what, no matter how painful the journey, no matter who may turn their back on you or on us, if we walk with Allah, we are never truly alone. SubhanAllah. And so Ibrahim alayhi salam stepped forward into his destiny, his heart filled with the light of monotheism, ready to challenge the belief of an entire nation and to change history forever. SubhanAllah. And we definitely can learn a lot from this story in a ways that can benefit us, in a ways that can make us understand that not everything we do goes the way we want it to do, or everything we do goes the way we want it to be or happen. And we just have to convey the message, the right path to other people, and we'll have people decide whether they want it or not, as long as we stay firm on our belief and understand that everything in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With that being said, thank you for watching. I really hope that you can take at least a small amount of information in this video or in this story and implementing this into our lives, especially our brothers and sisters that are reverts, that are struggling with their families, friends, spouse. May Allah make it easy for them and for us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.